Okay, let's be honest, I bet you never saw this art supply coming, but it's here and I'm so glad that it is, because this art supply is mind-blowingly aesthetic. But before I reveal this magic art supply that I love, hi there, my name is Sparkle and I make art videos, and today's art video is featuring one of my favorite art companies, which is Arrtx. So here are some old art supplies from Arrtx that I already own. This is their Oros set from 2021, this is their colored pencil set from this year, and their acrylic paint pens. But today I'm going to be showing you guys something very new. Are you ready? Well, in that case, let's open up this package together. So the very first thing we have are these sketching pencils, which I'll be showing you guys in the next video. But this video is going to be featuring something even more amazing, especially for someone like me who loves markers. And trust me, I love markers a lot. Also, firstly, bubble wrap, so satisfying. But here it is, guys. It is the Arrtx 66 sketch marker set, brush tip and chisel tip with a bunch of pastel colors, as well as a black marker and a colorless blender. Now, I feel like I say this a lot, but it's actually very true. One of my favorite things with Arrtx art supplies is just the packaging. It's always so aesthetic and unique, and it's always like according to my taste. Like, for example, the purple color here is fabulous. Also, here is how the markers are going to look, and here are the colors that we get in the set. So without further ado, let's just enjoy the packaging a bit more, which I really love, this kind of like glossy reflective kind of effect. And after that, I think it's time to actually open up and see the markers inside. Also, I love how this case actually is like a carry case, so you can just, you know, take your markers, walk around and create art everywhere. Okay, now you can't deny it. This already looks so good. The colors already look so nice. It does look a bit like kind of weirdly arranged in terms of like the organization, but that's okay. We can fix that. It's going to be fun, it's going to be satisfying, and it's going to be great. So here's how the marker looks. We got the chisel nib, and can you see how the marker kind of has like a bit of like a glittery kind of look to it? Like a really subtle kind of sparkly look. I don't know why, but I just found that really mesmerizing. But yeah, anyways, the nibs are great as well. I have this fun tendency to get distracted by stuff that's glittery or sparkly, so yeah, don't mind me. Anyways, seriously though, I love these colors. They already look great, but I think the best way for us to see how these colors look is by swatching them. And guess what I found coincidentally at the exact same time I was thinking about swatching the markers? A very nice big swatch sheet. Also, I always love how Arrtx has these thank you cards. It just makes the customer feel special, you know? Anyways, at this point I was feeling kind of curious about whether the markers would actually come out with the grid kind of setup, but I tried it and found out that they do not. But that's fine. They already look great in the packaging, plus the marker set kind of like stands up like this, so it's perfect to put on your desk and to carry around. I mean, the case is very portable and also very aesthetic, like I have mentioned probably 20 times already. Anyways, let's get swatching. Now, one thing that I want to say just like right off the bat is, you see how on the swatch card the different color numbers have different kind of names. For example, there's peach, pearl white, milky white, stuff like that. I would love if these color names were also like on the markers themselves, just because for me personally, instead of remembering a number like 45 or 170, I like to remember different colors like I don't know, like light pink or like lime green, sunflower yellow, something like that. But that's just like a personal preference because I like to kind of familiarize myself with my markers. But I guess numbers do work as well, because right now if you were to come to me and say Arrtx Oros 2021 set 145, I would know it's a purple. Like, I'm that used to it because I've been using it that long, and I guess if you use these markers for a long period of time, you'll get used to that as well. And I thought I was done with the swatch card, but then I realized I forgot a color, so I went back and did that, and now here is our final swatch card. So I'm gonna be totally honest, I do like these colors, but one thing that this set is missing is more of like those deeper skin tones and brown colors. Well, it is expected because this isn't a skin tone set, it's a pastel marker set, but still it would have been great to see just like a brownish kind of tone. Something else is that there's only like one main orange color, like that's pretty much it. But I suppose that hypothetically you could always just blend like a reddish kind of color with a yellowish kind of color to get that orangish tone. And just one more thing is that like some of the colors, specifically this one, it says pale blue, but it kind of like has a purple kind of tone to it. That's just something I don't get that much. But yeah, those are just some like really minor things that I picked up. But all in all, this set has a really good variety of colors. I love how just for blue as well, there's like a different variety of blue colors. Also, just for reference, here is a 2021 marker and a 2023 marker. And externally speaking, there's like minor differences in how they look, but otherwise they seem pretty much the same. And one more thing is that some of the marker cap colors didn't really match up that much with the actual ink color when it was laid out on paper. But let me tell you guys just a little secret. Up till this point in my life, I haven't come across any marker set where the colors of each and every single cap of each and every single color line up or like exactly match with the actual ink color of each and every single marker when it's laid down on paper, because that's just something to be expected. There will be differences when the product is being manufactured and also depending on the type of paper you're using. Okay, but can we just take a second to appreciate how satisfying this clip is? Because I mean, it took me half an hour, sure, but that's fine. It's satisfying. That's what's important in the end. And honestly, I'm really happy with how this marker set looks right now because it's just so like beautiful, and I just love seeing things arranged in rainbow order. I don't know, this is just a me thing. Also, just look at how easy this case is to carry. Like you can literally just take this and walk around and draw anywhere you want. I love that about this set. Anyways, now it's time to grab out my spare sketchbook and go ahead and just try random stuff with these markers, just random writing and experimenting and blending just to see how they work. And by the way, in case you're wondering, which I don't know if you are, but if in case you are, let me just get to the point. No, to answer your question, the lids of these markers do not fit on the other side. So you can't really just take the cap off and pop it on the other side because it won't go through. You'll have to like put it somewhere on your desk or somewhere on the lid or something like that, which it's not a big problem for me, but if you're working somewhere else that's not your desk, then you just might want to be careful not to lose the marker caps. Wait, in case it didn't make sense, what I meant was you can take the cap off and swap it on the other side with the opposite nib, but you can't put a cap on top of a cap, if that kind of makes sense. Don't stress, I'll demonstrate later. But can we just like appreciate the brush nibs? Just look at how flowy they are. They're like stiff, but they're flexible at the same time, which is good because the fact that they are stiff means that they won't just easily break, and the fact that they are flexible means that you can do cool stuff like this, especially when it comes to blending. That's when it's going to be the most useful. Also, yes, we are going to be officially starting my new sketchbook in today's video. It's a Winsor & Newton sketchbook, and I have never spent $30 on one single sketchbook before in my life, but I did for this sketchbook, so let's see if it's worth it. So let's get straight to it. And I'm going to be drawing fruits as people because before I started recording this, I put up a little kind of poll on my community post asking you guys if you wanted to see me either fill in the first page of my sketchbook or turn fruits into people. And surprisingly, I think about like 65% of y'all wanted to see me turn fruits into people. Was I expecting that? Absolutely not. But am I ready to do it? Obviously, I'm always ready for an art challenge. Also, I've turned fruits into people multiple times in the past, but it just never gets old because even if you turn the same fruit into people constantly, you can like come up with different designs, and it's just like a really fun kind of creative experience. Anyways, with the sketch done and the line art magically done, no, I'm kidding, that took like half an hour in and of itself, but I'm not going to show you guys half an hour of that footage. Here is how we are looking with the drawing. Now, personally, I was very proud of all these designs, especially the outfits and the accessories and the hairstyles and the poses. But I was very nervous to color these drawings in because when you're drawing 3 characters next to each other, it's just a lot of pressure to make their color palettes very precise and specific, because if you mess up, then the entire drawing is just going to look out of place and chaotic, which let's hope doesn't happen to this drawing. Okay, so I'm going to be talking about the markers for a bit, and then we're going to jump back onto the topic of these drawings and talk more about the character design. Alright, so I've currently just hopped onto the Arrtx website, and now here's what it says. The color range for this set is 64 pastel colors and 1 black and 1 white, as in like a colorless blender. It's alcohol-based ink. It has fiber dual tips. Blending capability is good with smooth transitions, long-lasting use, and packaging type they've written as creative, which I 101% agree. It is so creative and so aesthetic. Now let's look at the features. The first feature is the portable package design, which, like I showed you guys before, you can like travel with the marker set. And the second thing is the fun range of colors, which again, I agree so much because all these colors are so pretty, so fun. I literally love all the colors in this set, especially because I love pastel markers, and I have nothing to complain about. Like, this is just amazing. The colors are gorgeous and I just love them. Now here's what it says on Amazon. Oh my goodness, what did I say? On Amazon. I could delete that, but I'll just leave it in there. You guys can laugh along with me. Anyways, here's what it says on Amazon, like I was trying to say, that this marker set is a combination of the Arrtx original Oros 24 set and Arrtx Oros 40 colors. So yeah, it's a combination of 2 sets plus the black and the colorless blender. And those are pretty much all the main features about the marker set that I could find online. And now it's time for me to share my personal opinion. Now, if you're wondering about the brush nibs and how flexible they are, my answer is yes, they are very flexible and very sturdy at the same time. So like I said before, they are kind of flexible in the sense that they do bend as required, so you can get those different kind of brush strokes and different kind of line weights. But at the same time, they are sturdy enough to make sure that they don't just easily break or kind of like fray at the tips with like minimal use. Also, as you can tell, the ink spreads very nicely and smoothly on paper. It's also really important to consider the quality of the paper that you are using. But as you can tell with this paper, the markers are working like gold. Something else I liked was that usually when it comes to marker sets, especially when it comes to like blues, which is something I've noticed, a lot of the blue colors are pretty much like the same color repeated with like minor differences. But with this marker set, considering that it's a pastel marker set, there's actually a pretty good kind of range of colors included. There's like multiple different variations of pink and of yellow and purple and all those different colors, which I really liked, especially the green, as you can tell here. And that's just something I liked about the set. Something else that I also liked is, like I said before, the packaging and just how nice the markers feel to hold. Now, while this set did have beautiful colors, there were some things to kind of consider, which I did mention previously once we finished the swatching. But aside from that, something else I do want to say is that I think that if you are someone who likes to color a variety of skin tones, then I recommend kind of practicing layering if you get this set. Layering is a pretty good art technique in my opinion, and it's a good technique to practice, especially with this set, considering that the variety of skin tones is kind of limited in terms of like how there aren't really that many dark brownish kind of skin tones. But again, it's a pastel marker set, not a skin tone set. So layering is a good kind of technique you can practice if you buy this set, which you can see me doing here as well, and creating something very cool. Now, I'm not sure how many of you guys know this, but I saw this video from a popular art YouTuber a couple of years ago, I think about 6 years ago or something, where she talks about how having less colored pencils kind of helps you to be more creative and think outside the box. And I couldn't agree more, not just with colored pencils, but also with pastel markers. Now, if you're layering a dark marker on top of another dark marker, well, that kind of limits you because you can't get a lighter color. But if you're working with lighter colors, then you can definitely kind of build up that darkness and depth, as you can see me doing here, and it's just a great skill to kind of develop and experiment with. And with that, let's talk more about these drawings. So usually when I turn something like some kind of element or object or animal into a person, I typically take the features of that kind of object and kind of try to implement that with the design. For example, last year in my video that went viral, I turned a kiwi into a person, and I tried to kind of implement the color palette of kiwis, the little dots that they have, you know, the seeds and stuff, into like the design of the character's dress, but I never actually drew a kiwi in the illustration. But this time I thought I'd try something a bit different and actually draw each of these characters with like a mini version of the fruit that their outfit is inspired by on their actual outfit. I don't know what I think about this, but I think it doesn't look that bad. It also just kind of ties the three characters together and just makes the page look just a tad bit more united. And by the way, if you haven't guessed it already, the very first character is inspired by green apples, the second character is inspired by blueberries, and the third character is inspired by peaches. Yep, I know what you're thinking. The blueberry does look like a blue apple, I know, or a blue tomato, and at this point in time the peach does look like a strawberry. But guys, trust the process because that's exactly what I'm doing here. Alright, now it's time for me to explain the thought process. So for peaches, I thought of a really kind of playful character. Pink makes me think of someone who's playful and friendly, so I decided to give this girl not a skirt but more of like shorts because I just wanted her to seem, I guess, a bit more like loose, laid back and casual, less formal. So that's what's going on. I also gave her like a really kind of fun and unique hairstyle, a really kind of bubbly hairstyle, which I love. And now for the green apple girl, I thought about how when it comes to apples, red apples are kind of like the basics, the classics, the go-to kind of thing. And then green apples are typically more of the unique kind of fancy things. So I decided to give our green apple girl a bit more of pizzazz, a bit more of fashion, make her kind of stand out, not be simple, not be basic. So I gave her like this really cool kind of outfit, which I love so much. And I would love to wear that outfit personally if I can find something like that. And thirdly, for our blueberry girl, which she was actually like a very last minute addition. I wasn't even planning on drawing her, but I did because she fit. Sorry, no offense, blueberry girl, but my thought process behind that was actually kind of simple. Well, there's actually two things that kind of influenced her design. The very first thing was my thought process. The second thing was that I already kind of did draw a puffy sleeve t-shirt and like a girl in shorts, so I kind of wanted to give this girl like a tight skirt, but let's just pretend that wasn't the reason, and let's pretend that the actual reason was because I was thinking that blueberries are blue, right? A very unique color not commonly found in fruits, and that's why I decided to kind of give her a bit more of like a fancy kind of formal outfit because she wants to show off and kind of, you know, represent herself as being special, as being fancy, and kind of being better than the other fruits. But yeah, let's just pretend that was the actual reason and that I'm not just making it up right now. Anyways guys, who cares how I came up with the ideas, as long as it looks nice and as long as I had fun, which I did. And now the white gel pen highlights. Why do they look more satisfying in these close-up shots than they did look in real life? Anyways guys, it's time to sign off this page because guess what? We are officially finished with this drawing. And why does it look so much better with the sparkles? Anyways guys, that's the final drawing in today's video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Also, I want to send out a really big thank you to Arrtx. Thank you so much for contacting me and sending me these wonderful art supplies to try out. I genuinely loved the marker set and I would recommend this to everyone because it's that amazing and that wonderful. By the way, the company has provided me with some links to share with you guys, which I will be adding in the description below. Anyways, again, thank you so much Arrtx, and thank you so much you wonderful magical sparks for watching the entire video. And also, if you made it this far, make sure to comment this emoji down below. Don't forget to subscribe, and as always, stay awesome and stay sparkling. Bye magical sparks, and I'll see you in the next video where we will be testing out the Arrtx sketching pencils. Alright, see ya, bye!